Hey everyone, welcome to this amazing tutorial where we will create this sports water bottle, and whether you are a beginner or an advanced user, you will learn so many cool and amazing, easy to follow techniques. And if you want to dive even deeper into plasticity, you can join our Plasticity Pro membership where you will have access to exclusive high quality tutorials, regular new content, and get help in our community. Also, I've uploaded a more advanced version of a bottle, so check it out. Always first link in the description. And now let's jump into our amazing tutorial. Alright, so let's start. Reference link in the description into our plasticity file, and press M, bring it to the front, make it a little bit opaque and bring it to the background so it's not disturbing us. So what we want to do is we want first to create the very main shape. Again, we go from big to small. And so we start with the main shape and then start to add here some cuts, and then at the end make this cap here, which will be definitely the most interesting thing. So first of all, select that image and bring it to the middle. So it's almost in the middle, but yeah, to somewhere here. And let's create a spline curve and just follow here this shape. Very simple, and just adjust here those few points, and we have here this profile. And now we can just revolve that profile around here that z-axis. If we select that curve, we can create revolve and snap to that axis. So we get something like that, and this is exactly what we want. Delete this curve. So before we go to the top, let's close the bottom here, edge mode, alt click this selection here and just patch holes, and let's give it a fillet, but click G2 so it will be just a little bit of a higher quality fillet. So you see that looks really good. And now let's create first this cutout. We have a really cool chamfer here. And then here this middle part with a nice curvature, and then all of those little lines and details. So that looks cool. And we will start here with the spline curve. And as always, when we have reference images, it's pretty simple. We just follow the shape and the lines that we have already. So maybe let's bring this curve here to the front so we see the points better. And we just follow this shape and cut everything as we need it. So yeah, we'll just adjust here those few points. So that looks great. And now very simple, we can just cut into our main surface. And this curve is a cutting curve, so we put it into a group and call this group CC cutting curves. Let's hide it here. And we have something like that. And we will need the curve in a second again. So now we have to first create here this chamfer, right? Because you see we have a little bit of an angle. So for that, we will just select here this face and just bring that a tiny bit in. So just offset this a tiny little bit, and perfect. Because now we have to establish here an edge, which we can then loft with this outer edge. So let's just select this cutting curve and Shift D to duplicate, and let's bring it a little bit to the inside. And we can't do offset because then we can't adjust the points. So I just like to duplicate that, and again, just follow here this inner shape. So yeah guys, that looks good. And now you can cut or imprint. So C, cut into the surface and delete this inner piece. And you see we have kind of this hole, this distance inside. This is exactly what we want, because now, very simple, we can just select this curve and shift this curve and just loft it. And you see it doesn't work because when we work with surfaces, we mostly want to work with just the half of the object or surface. So go to the right view, create a line, press C, cut away here this half and do the same for this piece. You will also see in a second why we do this, because otherwise it will not really work. Because now you can select those again and press tab, tab, so loft, tab, tab, and you have a G0 continuity. So you have a G0 chamfer, and you see that looks great. But now we can delete here this inside, because now we have to create here this inner part. And first of all, let's select both of those surfaces and join them. And now again, just follow here this shape that we have in the reference image. And with this spline curve, go from one corner to this other corner. And you see we just need 2 points. And yeah, it doesn't add here 100% up, but this is fine for the tutorial. And you see we have a very beautiful, nice aesthetic curve. And now very simple, because we will mirror it over, we need continuity here on this side. So we have to extrude this curve. Maybe in the future in Plasticity you don't have to do it. And yeah, if you want to know what is continuity, curvature, G0, G1, definitely check out my Surface Essential PDF guide. You will find all of the information that you need for surface modeling. Now, basically what we can do, very simple, we will just select here those 2 edges and just patch it. And we have something like that. And you see it's basically already our shape, but here we have to give it G1, so it's continuous. So when we mirror it later over, we don't have any seam. So you see that looks absolutely beautiful and it follows exactly our shape. So this is exactly what we want. Now we can go and continue here with those lines. And you might think that we have to again, so we have to imprint those curves and then pipe them and then Boolean and all that stuff. And you might think, yeah, we have to go here from the front view and create all of those curves. And I did that in the beginning when I was practicing before the tutorial, but it's not. It's much, much more easier. We go here to this view, to the right view. And what we will do is we will just create here a line somewhere here, and now just rectangular array and give it, I don't know, like 12 here for this example, or maybe 10. And we can align them here this way, because now we can just imprint them onto our surface. So press Shift 1, my shortcut, or search for F and imprint. So, but I do F1 because it's 1,000,000 times faster. And now you see, this is exactly what we want, but yeah, we need here a little bit of adjustments here at the end because it's too flat, and also they are too long. So what we will do is we will just create here a spline curve, or you can offset the other one, but let me just do something like that. And yes, that looks super weird. So let's just bring it here on the same distance. So just control click and snap to one of the curves. So it's on the same, how's it called? On the same plane. And now let's just adjust the points here a little bit. And what I want is I just want here at the top a little bit of a distance, because we will cut away all of those curves here at the top. And the same here. Yeah, we get something like that. Because now you can just press T for trim and just trim all of those stuff here away that we don't need, and also this whole curve. Because now again, if you alt click one of the curve and Shift 1 or imprint, you see now it looks much smoother. And also press here hide occlusion, then it's just at the front. And maybe you can, if you want, delete one of those curves. So let's press OK. We don't need the curves, so let's delete them. If you want, you can delete those curves here. And just to make some little adjustments, so yes, let's delete it and just create a few curves here manually. And once you have them, so just spend some time and some love. Again, Shift 1 to imprint, and yeah, that looks pretty good. And just imprint them onto the surface. So we have something like that. And because we will create a pipe and we will boolean that, we need a solid, but we still have the surface right. We will come back to it a little bit later. And we can now start to create here our top piece, which is definitely very interesting. So first of all, we want to cut here a nice straight cut. You can play around if you want to give it like some little rounding or something. This is fine. So we will cut here this whole piece away. So nothing special, nothing fancy, because basically this whole piece here, so there are millions of different ways how we can create that, but just one very simple, so which needs a little bit of adjustments and all that stuff. I will show you. It's just a lot of fun. We can snap to the front and we will create here a 2-point circle and go from here to here and press V. So we flip the rotation, and let's bring it somewhere here. I think that should be fine. And now let's just extrude this a little bit, because we will use those outer edges here to guide our curves. So we have first to cut our ring here into half. So go to top view, C, and cut it into half and delete everything. And now guys, like really magic. So first of all, we want to connect this here with continuity. So very simple. Select those two edges, Shift B, and here with G2, you see we have a nice curve. And now we want to do the same here with this edge and this edge. And if we press Shift B, you see already we are getting pretty close, and we can play here with the tension. So if we press D, and we can't give G3, I guess, but G1 and stuff, but we need G2. And what we will do is just select that, because you see we have to definitely adjust that everything a little bit. If you press 1, we see all of those individual points. So we can't really move those points here, so because we want really nice smooth curvature. So what we will do is just press Shift S and Shift S and maybe even one more, and we will not touch those first 3 points. So again, we want nice curvature, but we have here some points in the middle which we can use and play a little bit around. And you see we can get our shape pretty close here. And again, you can play with the ring position and different points and stuff. But yeah, here for the tutorial, this will be absolutely fine. So we have something. And now a little thing what we want to do. So I want here a little bit more for curvature. So I just want to bring this point a little bit more down. But I can't just move it, because then I destroy this perfect straight line, which gives us continuity. So I just select this 1 point, press G for move, and here V pivot, and just pivot it here. Because now you see the pivot is aligned, and now I can just drag that here a little bit down. And now again, I can just play and adjust a little bit here the points. So yeah, you see we are not getting it super correct here, but this is okay. So now we can, again, we need continuity. So select both curves and E for extrude, and extrude them a little bit here to the back. And let's hide those curves for the moment, because now plasticity magic, again, we select all of those edges and patch them. And guys, voila, that's basically it. But let's press tab. So you see everything is continuous. And yeah, so we can play a little bit around here, but you see it's not quite right. We have to give it a little bit more shape and form, and yeah, because this is just too complex for the patch and our form is just too complex here. You see, and also it's a little bit sharper. So what we can do instead is we can add some guiding curves, which we will then squeeze our patch into them. So to create a few guiding curves, let's break this surface here. And okay, just maybe here just the line in the middle somewhere, Shift 1 and imprint. So you get this little extra edge. And let's do the same here at this ring at the top, Control R, and just snap it here in the middle. So we have two extra edges, which we also with Shift B bridge edges can loft. And you see, we get something very cool. And now we can play further with this curve. So again, if you want it super perfect, you have to spend much more time and just play and experiment a little bit around. But here I see this curve on this side is definitely too crazy. I want to give it here a G1 first. And here it should be fine. So G2. And now I just want to increase a little bit the tension. And also a little bit only here where we have G1. So on this edge, just a little bit of tension. So you see now we are just creating here this curve, which will be a little bit flatter, you know. And here we have this nice long shape as we have here. But here it flattens just a little bit out, right? So yeah. Just something to play a little bit around. And now we can try it again. What we will get if we first patch everything and shift click our curve here. And let's press tab. So everything is G1. So we have this result here. But I don't like this rounding here. So we have to go a little bit back. So I like this curve, and if you're complaining going back and stuff, then don't use plasticity or modeling at all. You will never learn something. It's just a part of the process that you experiment and get information and just look with your eyes. Does it work? Does it not work? And we see it didn't work. So this curve is nice, but we want just to adjust those two curves here. Again, let's subdivide it a few times and hide this curve. And make this here a little bit sharper and just a little bit flatter. So for now, just quickly. And again, extrude this. And so again, we can just patch everything. Press tab, so everything is continuous, G1, and let it load. And shift, you see we are out of shape, but shift click, we are bringing here the shape in. And you see this is already much better. It's still not perfect, but for now here this is fine. So we don't need here all of those extra sheets here anymore. So you can delete them and select this whole and select this edge and press X and we have something like that. So it's fine, but yeah, still this is here too big, but okay, that's for the tutorial, it's fine. But now we still have some stuff to do, is if we mirror it over, you see that we have here like a weird bump. You see? So here we see we have a little bit of a weird bump here. So go back, and what we will do is we will cut a little bit here of the surface away. So maybe select the surface, Alt J and Shift H, just isolate it and go to the top view. And here a little trick, we can Shift F just or any curve and just follow here a little bit the rounding of our bottle and create here a little bit of this shape, and Shift A, a new line, and close it here and select both, join, and Shift 1, imprint them. So you see we have something like that. And if we press Alt-H to bring everything back and we delete this curve, we can delete the surface here, because now we can rebuild here our curve again. So select those two and Shift B, and with D just make it maybe a little bit stronger. But yeah, this whole shape is not quite right. But E for extrude and F for freestyle. So extrude it, press F, it's wrong direction, snap it to curve, and extrude it here on the Y axis. So that looks great. And now press 4, join everything, and we can now loft those edges and add those edges here. And add here everywhere some G2 continuities. So delete this piece and loft everything. And now if you select everything and Alt-X and you bring it to the other side, you see now it's much smoother. So you can join that. And you see it's pretty much what we need. Not exactly, you need more curves and to adjust them. So I also want you to do that it's not just following blindly along and copying exactly what I'm doing. I mean, it's still correct, but you also have to do it on your own. And also then later after this tutorial, watch or try to recreate 1 or 2 more bottles on your own, you know. Let's close here this thing here at the top and also give it here a little fillet. And yeah, you can add here some details, but this is not important for me because I want now, first of all, cut everything in half again. So we can focus on one half and delete it, delete this. So we have something like that, and we don't need that image anymore. And because now we can do this stuff here, so select all of those curves or edges or imprints and Shift D, duplicate them all. And unfortunately at the moment we can't pipe them all at once. So just select one, press P and give it some section size, so something like, so give it some section size, so something like 1 or so, and press OK. And now you have to do it with all of them, but yeah, why not? Select all curves, delete them. And now let's select all of those end curves here of the pipes at the top and the bottom and give them fillet. So all are selected, just give them a nice tiny little fillet. That will work out, and press tab. All are selected, select this whole main body, press Q and Q again to Boolean union those. And if you press OK, you have something like that. Maybe again, maybe they could be a tiny bit smaller or something. But just let us do just one more little thing. So create a line, Shift A and snap it here on the edge and SS to scale that. And now just cut this whole body. And now just one little thing. So select it, Alt X and merge halves together. So we have one bottle here. And now so just that we have here this cut because otherwise it looks weird. So Shift A, just snap here on the edge. Right click, SS, scale that, and just cut here into our main body. And delete this curve. And select both of those curves and give them a little chamfer or a little fillet as you like. The same also here. Cut it. Give it a very, very little tiny fillet here. And you have your little bottle here. So you can give it some materials, export it. Or yeah, definitely go back here and on your own just recreate this shape and spend some time and just experiment a little bit around. And if you like those techniques that we've covered in this tutorial, feel free to check out first link in the description about my surface modeling courses where we really dive deep into plasticity, but at the same time Everything is beginner friendly. I've constructed them with beginners in mind, so everyone can follow along. So if plasticity and 3D modeling is something you're passionate about, then I can highly recommend it to you, as well as hundreds of students which also ran through this course and got amazing results. So first link in the description. I wish you a nice day. Bye.